CoinGuy.Bitcoin is where you can find me. CoinGuy.Bitcoin. It is the 21st day of May. If you're in Canada, we're celebrating the May 24th long weekend, Saturday morning. Trying to be a little quiet here as my family is definitely still crashed out. I just wanted to touch on the state of the global markets, not just crypto, but we'll start with crypto. Most people, if you're in the space, have been dealing with ups and downs and turns and a little bit of turmoil is what we would kind of say, volatility. Now, I keep getting articles like this popping up. Bitcoin dropped about 50% from its all-time high. So I'm actually shocked that they caveat this with downturns like this are normal. That's actually shocking that they post the truth like that, because these are absolutely expected. They're things that can happen, but it seems to be the big story in the news when something happens. Now, when they're saying from its all-time high, they don't mention last year. So, I mean, it was at an all-time high last year. If we just went onto our browser and we typed Bitcoin crash, this is what we get. We get cryptocurrency bubbles. We get Bitcoin plunges, $600 billion as crypto market crashes. As the market crashes, some fears are larger than financial. And then it continues. But it's all fear. If we type the exact same thing, Dow Jones crash, this is what we get. The definition of a stock market crash. Historical stock market crashes of the 1920s. More historical. It's just history. They don't tell you the Dow Jones is in the middle of a downturn right now. They just... Bitcoin is. Terra Luna is broken. Bitcoin is broken. But we don't hear a thing about the Dow Jones, about the S&P, about Netflix, about all the tech stocks, everything that's going crazy right now in a downturn. So we move to the charts. We will have a look at what we're seeing. And we're going to not just focus on the Bitcoin, but we're going to spread it all around and have a good look at what's going on in these other markets. And I will move us over to a larger screen. Now, as you can see, we are holding this drawn in line. We are gathered up in one of these little bunches. This is what I like to call a consolidation move, or where it's just condensing into these little tight pockets before a major move up or down. And it stopped directly on this line. So if we were to add our Fibonacci retracements just on the entire market cycle from last cycle's top to the COVID crash here, and we drag it over so that we can see, look at exactly where we stopped. Okay, so this is, we dipped below, but we pulled right back up. So stay on top of this line, not so bad. Go below the line, seems to be a hell of a buying opportunity. So Bitcoin does look like, in the market, when we overlay this Fibonacci retracement, it looks like it's come up to its 4236 Fibonacci extension, the top level, or anything in this area. And it has retraced back down to the 161. And as you can see, that's even the line where this support resistance line is. So it looks like it's holding a structure. If I was to guess, I would say that the 786, or this area here, And the 236, or this area here, would be our epic crash scenario, somewhere in this little range, which is about a $16,000 to an $8,000 range generally. Okay, so I'm going to get rid of all this stuff that's on our screen. We're going to move back over to some of our traditional markets. And let's just focus on I'm going to start with the Dow. Dow Jones weekly is looking awful. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, like 9 straight weeks of market downturn. Yeah, I just want to get a good count on this. 8 weeks. 8 weeks straight down. But we don't get the Dow Jones crash on the Googles. Now, if we were to take a measurement from the top, pull it down to the bottom here, 17%. So it's lost 17% in 19 weeks. Or basically from January 4th, January 5th, all-time high. So the headline could be Dow Jones crashes 8 straight weeks from all-time high for the entire year of 2020. But that's not the headline. The headline is Bitcoin down 50% from all-time high. All right, so now if we overlay our same style, bottom. Let me just move this into a little bit easier to read. And we're going to get rid of all these moving averages. Okay. So take a major dip. Almost go right back up to here. If you go right from this dip, it's it exactly. It's crazy. Just to point out the obvious, we've moved up into the 4236 fib. It's done the same crash down, although Bitcoin came to here. And if we looked at where the bottom could be, 825 to 823,000 on the Dow Jones, which would be from its all-time high. $30 to 40%. This is the downturn I'm expecting, easily. NASDAQ. Obviously, look at this. It's noticeably terrible. I haven't even put a measurement on it. Noticeably terrible. Actually, let's get off that one. Once again, top of the market. This one did the retrace and the downturn. And look where it's heading. Target down here. Like, it's as if a 32% slide on the NASDAQ isn't even being brought up. But you can see it. You can just look at that and go, ah, where's my money going? Netflix, probably one of the worst looking charts lately. Look at this. It's come out of the entire structure, crashed below. Netflix itself from all-time high. Almost 75%. You don't even... Let's just do another search here, folks. Market crash. Does Netflix pop up in the top stories? What other news? Netflix crash. Not a whole lot. Stock market looks obvious. Chart can't lie. You can go on the news all day long, apparently. Amazon, we having the same kind of day? Jesus Christ, look at the Amazon. It's all of them, folks. It is literally all of them. Apple, downturn. One of the largest companies on the planet. Down almost 25%. So here's the crazy part. Apple, down 25%. Bitcoin, down 54%. But if we go on Coin Market Cap, check out the entire market capitalization of Bitcoin. And well, we're looking at $557 billion. This was almost up to $1 trillion when we were at all-time high. So, I mean, not a grand number in the grand scheme of things. Dow Jones total value. Let's see what this is saying now, ladies and gentlemen. Well, sometimes on the fly we're doing this and people are just following with me. And This is how we learn. Oh, man. Either way, let's just say you've got a company like Apple, which I'm trying to find the current market value. It says it's only worth $365 billion. It's the largest company. Yeah, Bitcoin. Currently at 500 billion. Bitcoin's worth more than Apple. And now we've all learned something together. That's fine. Just fine. So, while Bitcoin is on week number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 straight weeks of red candles, so is everything else. The entire world is coming to a giant tipping point where we are probably going to see 1929 style crash, 1987 style crash. We're going to see the 2008 style crash, but instead of in one particular market or one segment, it's going to be all of them at the same time. Like we're going into the greatest economic downturn crash in all of history, and this will usher in the Great Reset. And it's conspiratorial, as crazy as it sounds. The charts don't lie. I think the only chart that I kind of forgot to pull up and just give everybody a good old reminder of. So let's do that right before we go. Look at this. Current oil prices. I'll even switch to a daily. Show you how we have not left this channel. This right here is the March 2020 crash. This is November. We're able to pinpoint that this is a trend. You could have drawn this in November and been like, oh, I wonder what it's going to be in 2025, and just drawn that straight out. And you could totally see exactly where it's going. But here, this is the war in Ukraine, and they like to tell us that none of this mattered. It just, war in Ukraine, we went from $107 a barrel to $120 a barrel, but we did not go from $8 a barrel to that first. It didn't happen. It's not a pandemic. It's not a global crisis. It's not lockdowns and house arrests and small businesses and everything else shut down. Definitely not. Looking on the weekly, this is dramatic. And the monthly, you can just see. Okay. And it won't remind people what's happening with the dollar. There is the dollar on a monthly chart. This is not strength because of natural, markets. This is printing. Printing from here and here and here and here and here and here and here all the way up. And it started right here during the COVID crash. But look at the actual, when you look on a larger frame, look at the trend down. Here's your dollar value. Here's your purchasing power. purchasing power, shit you gotta buy. You know what I mean? It doesn't equate. This is not going to work. This is a problem. Now this looks like it's doing good right here. But not when you zoom out. Not when you zoom out. Okay, so just a reminder out there, everybody stay safe. Everybody be calm. Don't let the markets trap you emotionally. Detach yourself. Money isn't real. Maintain a head on your shoulders and be able to realize, know what you invest. Don't try and time the market. Try to put time in the market. I'm the coin guy, Bitcoin. I've been putting time in this market. I'm here with you if you need answers. My email is in the description. Sign up for my classes. They're all free. CoinGuy.Bitcoin. Thanks for tuning in. Back to my morning coffee.